They say try hard like it's a crime, but we keep trying every time. Do or not, there is a try. Yoda told us all alike. If trying's wrong, then so are we. Welcome to Try Hard Valley.
You gotta fight for your right to podcast. Welcome back to Try Hard Valley. We've been on a brief hiatus while Yael has been cruising the Adriatic with past guest Kevin Kulo and her dad and stepmom. A quick note for the audio files. The sound quality on our last episode was rough. The sound quality on this episode is also rough. Different rough. Evolving rough. I applied the studio sound filter to that last episode. The result was me sounding insane in the membrane, insane in the brain. This episode features uneven volume levels and a few places where I've dubbed over myself so you can actually hear what I said. If you are an audio engineer, please come to my house and explain microphones to me. Compensation includes 4-leaf clovers and my eternal gratitude. Despite the audio hiccups, we hope you'll stick around. Yael and I are both registered for podcasting class at Stanford, continuing studies, as we're lifelong learners, and we're still figuring out how sound works. Thanks for lending us your ear holes. We know that it's a privilege, not a right. We're trying hard to make this a better listening experience for everyone. This is still our podcast. Love you. XOXO. Hit it, Yael.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Try Hard Valley. We are back.
In this liminal space, I'm going to ask the question that I love to ask you, Yael. What are you trying hard to do?
Many, many things. I'm going to try to figure out why this is happening. I got my 4th cold of the year, and it's only May.
I've had 0 colds. What works for me, an apple a day really does keep the doctor away.
I have to tell you, my grandmother, she had an apple a day and a slice of cheese. She lived to 97. The apple worked. So I was sick last week again, and my boss was in town, and I have a new boss. Cool guy, really like him. And Tuesday, I got sick, like really sick. And so Wednesday, we have lunch. My whole team was there, and I left the house and thought, how am I going to do this for a couple of hours, right? And I get there, and I'm in a cloud. There's like a rain cloud over my head because I can barely function. So I sit down in the corner. I order a hot water with lemon and tea and honey. I made it an hour, and then I had to bounce. And I was thinking to myself, great, this is the first time my new boss is in town. I'm sick as a dog. And now he's going to think, like, who am I working with here? Like, right. She can't even show up. And the next day, I had my team do sales calls without me, which was not ideal, but I couldn't be out there. But I did pay a couple people on my team to say good things about me. So
Good.
Yeah, it worked out. So anyways, he promised he'd come back. I promised not to be sick.
So you said you were sick, but I'm not totally clear on what was going on with you.
Okay, maybe this will help clarify it for you. I had the sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever, so you can rest medicine on a pretty regular basis. I had a really bad cold.
We did not just Google NyQuil, in case you were wondering.
I have to tell you, it works really well. I admittedly drank a decent amount of it.
You got your fill of the quill?
I did, and you start to have some crazy dreams and everything, yeah? But still worth it. Yeah, I feel like it works better than most things when you're not feeling well and you want to sleep. So highly recommend for anybody out there who's sick or maybe not. That just can't get to sleep.
Yael, you're about to leave for Venice. Are you excited?
I'm nervous more than excited, to be honest with you. I don't know, why can't I just enjoy these things? Is that this Jewish thing?
Yes, I believe so. You're a Jew going to Europe. There's some history there.
The anxiety kicks in, and then you think of the 900 things you have to do to get ready. So now I'm making lists of everything I'm going to pack, and then I'm going to probably forget 20 things.
15 pairs of underwear?
Thanks for sharing that.
That's the first on the list.
But there's no laundry. Like, where am I going to do laundry? It's a very important item. I mean, you can wash it in the sink, but let's be honest, I'm not going to do that. I want a pair for each day, just so you know. Yeah. Anyway, so Kevin is getting a hip replacement, but in the meantime, he's walking pretty badly. My dad is going to be wearing an eye patch, so we'll call him the pirate.
Well, you'll be at sea. So
It-
very appropriate. You can
Yes.
You can sing sea shanties.
I'll bring him a parrot and a peg leg. So if there's costume night, he'll be perfect. And anyway, so he's trying to wear an eye patch, which is just going to be fun for all of us.
Cute.
And then my stepmom, unfortunately, she's had some health issues. She's doing good now, but she's walking slower. So we'll see how this plays out. Thankfully, Venice is going to be travel by boat a lot. See if I make it back alive, or how many of the four of us actually return from the trip.
You know what that sound means? That means it's time for Yael's sales tip.
People say cold calling's dead, it's buried, and it's on oxygen. Those are people that don't know how to do it.
Ooh, haters.
Right? So a couple things that are most important. One, the company that you're trying to sell with, you need to know what you're selling. Not just the name of it, but what the focus is, what you're really trying to sell people. And then when you feel really confident in that, you need to make sure you know who you're talking to. The key to cold calling is learning. It's not about you rambling. It's about learning about the person, right? Before you can sell them anything, you want to learn more about them and dig in and do your research. I like to ask a lot of questions. So we're not going to dig in too far, but let me just give you the basics again. Know your business and know the person that you're trying to reach out to, what's important to them, and dig in until you really get to that pain point to figure out what's important to them. Know your business and your client.
Thank you for that.
So Carrie, what have you been trying hard to do since I last saw you?
Trying to get back into running shape to see if it's even feasible for me to run again, because I've had so much pain on my right side. I've stopped and done pretty much everything else. But the thing is, everything else just doesn't do it for me as far as community, connection.
It's a social thing, right?
Exactly. I swim, but I don't get a swimmer's high or an ellipticaler's high, but I definitely do with the running. And so I miss it. I actually just had a good run today. I wore a leg brace, and I think that might be the game changer. We'll see. A friend of mine who is leading a half marathon training group wants me to be one of the mentors, and I try to err on the side of caution. And so I don't know. My IT band has been really janky for quite some time, and I have arthritis in my knee.
Well, there's a difference between having some pain and having an injury.
Right. So I'm trying to figure out if I can run anyway.
Got it. I get it. Trust me. I know what it's like when you can't do things with people.
The other thing I'm trying hard to do is to figure out if I need a hysterectomy.
I'm actually speaking with a surgeon next month about next steps. And the next step might be having a big uterus retirement party.
Oh, God. What kind of present do I bring to that? Is there a balloon I can get made? Perhaps a chocolate-covered strawberry?
Ew.
Now it's time for me to fangirl out over one of my favorite writers of all time, Tania Sanchez. She's also a legendary perfume critic, an all-round mensch, and a cutie patootie of the highest order. In short, my longest-running girl crush. A few notes from the corrections department. At one point, I refer to the movie Sideways as Sidewalk. I suspect this is because I worked on Microsoft Sidewalk back in the 90s, an arts and entertainment website that was eventually acquired by Ticketmaster. Later, Tania and I discussed vowels and consonants. Things get surprisingly Wheel of Fortune adjacent. During this exchange, Tania calls me Vanessa. She meant Vanna. No Vanessas were involved in the making of this podcast. This is Carrie, and this is the sound of my voice.
Hello there, this is Tania, and this is the sound of my voice.
Welcome to Try Hard Valley. I'm here with author, perfume critic, and smarty pants, Tania Sanchez.
Thanks for having me, Carrie.
Are you ready for the question we ask all of our guests?
I'm ready.
What are you trying hard to do with your week, Tania Sanchez?
I am trying really hard to help my mom get a biopsy and then move her into a care home while not myself going insane and finding the nearest bridge and jumping off it.
Great.
Is that too suicidal?
No,
Okay.
That's understandable.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I don't want to trigger anybody, but this is hard.
Yeah.
I'm trying hard. I am 49, and so I'm trying hard to put my sock on my right foot also. Yeah? I'm
Is
trying
that
to
the
remember
bad
sunscreen.
hip side?
Yeah, that's the bad hip.
Gotcha.
Right side
okay.
is the bad hip. I'm trying to remember to put on sunscreen, to drink water, okay? And I can't remember anything else because I'm perimenopausal.
Been there, girl. I get it. Tania, I met you in high school in the very early 90s because Eric Heinitz, the English teacher I interviewed a few episodes ago, told me there's this girl who's a genius here at Foothill High. And he told me that you hung out with this girl, Amy. You guys were connected at the hip.
We probably ran into each other on Drama Hill, no?
Maybe, yes. I knew, even when you were a freshman and I read what you wrote, that I would never be more than a Salieri to your Mozarts. and then later on in life, I thought about that again because you became a prominent perfume critic. Tanya's got this amazing sense of smell, and you would smell something, and I always flashed back to the scene in Sidewalk where Paul Giamatti is explaining the notes of strawberry in the wine to Thomas Hayden Church, who's just like, tastes like fermented grapes. I soon realized I would never be anything but a Thomas Hayden Church to your Paul Giamatti.
Thank you.
How does that make you feel?
You know, it's so weird to be a perfume critic. I did not see this one coming.
How did you get into it?
Okay, so we're going to flash forward from high school. I was living in and working in New York City because I went to NYU.
Go Violets?
Are they still called the Violets?
I think they are.
I think they've switched to the Bobcats. And Bobcat, by the way, is the name of their library cataloging system, so still kind of a loser name.
Wow.
Nevertheless, we're going to move on. Nobody goes to NYU for the sports. I was there working as an editor and a writer, writing about finance, which is something also that happened by accident. I needed money, so I wrote about money, and that was going on. But I was working in Midtown Manhattan, and I was going nuts because it's really boring to read about IRS rules. So I would go for a walk to the department stores in Midtown Manhattan. We were near Macy's Herald Square around 34th Street.
Where the miracle happened with Santa?
I would go down Fifth Avenue and go to Sephora or whatever it was and just, just smell perfume. I mean, I was also a heavy smoker for a while, so I had given that up, and I still needed to inhale something on my break, so perfume is a good thing. And I had never really found one that I liked until I started obsessively going to these perfume places during my lunch break, and I started chatting about them online.
And this is early internet days? Like, when are we talking?
We're talking, so I graduated in 1998, so this would be around the Y2K. Right, so then I read this book that the other fellow perfume freaks online had pointed out to me called The Emperor of Scent.
Oh, foreshadowing.
Yeah,
I've read that too.
About this scientist and this guy who writes about perfume called Luca Turin. And he had written a perfume book in French, and he was also known for a theory of smell, scientifically, how the smell receptor engages and how it determines whether some cluster of atoms gives you rose or gives you garlic, which is still unknown. Like, that jury is still out. We don't know how that works, okay? So
it's the most mysterious of all the five senses.
They're all
the sense of smell.
mysterious. Okay, I think a touch is probably just as mysterious. I'm whispering on your podcast. Anyway, I'm going to try to speak up. So I read this thing and I thought, oh, God, it's really terrible. I'll never meet a guy like that. Dun, dun, dun. And then I started commenting on his blog.
So he had a Substack of the time of whatever that was?
It was, WordPress, kids.
Oh,
was
wow.
the Substack of our day. All right, of the Y2K
I'm familiar
era.
with that content management system.
Yeah. TypePad, WordPress, feel it.
Drupal.
So I started commenting on his blog, and he is very sensitive to language, so he decided that my comments were worth answering, and we started correspondence. And this correspondence, after a year or so, led to him asking me if I wanted to come to London and write a perfume guide with him, which was something I had never expected to be asked. I mean, a girl dreams of people asking her lots of things, but would you like to move to London and write a perfume guide with me? Not on the list. Didn't think that was going to happen.
Until it happened.
So I really didn't want to do it because I was afraid. Because he was actually really famous. He wrote beautifully evocative, allegorical, elusive, highly erudite, insanely well-read, pan-European things. Because the guy is an Italian raised in France, living in London, okay? So intense, way out of my comfort zone. And I had never really wanted to live in London. I lived where I wanted to. I lived in New York City. It was really hard for me to think, okay, I am right now in my dream. Am I going to drop this and chase this other dream that just popped up? This little white rabbit, right? So I chased it, went down the hole, and ended up writing this perfume book with Luca. And now we've been married for, I think, 19 years.
Well, congratulations.
That's pretty crazy.
I was not at that wedding, but I was at your previous wedding.
You were.
Beautiful. The wedding was beautiful. The marriage didn't work, but...
it was a beautiful marriage. I was really sad about the end of that one, actually.
Yeah, but I feel like you're with the right person, obviously, if you've been together for that long. You have a child together now. You wrote a beautiful perfume guide together and update it. And
are you trying to make me feel good about my first marriage ending? What are you doing?
Yes, actually.
I'm trying to figure out where are we going here. But you're just summing up.
The first wedding, the one that I went to, was great. It was in San Francisco at the Swedenborgian Church.
I'm going to tell you,
yes,
they are the most heterodox of the sort of Protestant group of churches. If you read up on Swedenborg, so many of his journals...
I will now.
They just have to do with how many women he banged. They're
Wow.
just journals and journals and journals of banging women in Europe. I mean, what a guy. He was a chemist.
I had not met your husband until the receiving line at your wedding, and I went up to him and shook his hand, and he goes, "Who the hell are you?"
I answered a fair question.
Yes, it was, and that made me laugh. That marriage did not work, but this one is amazing, and I love your perfume guide, and I love your love. So after you met up in London, what happened?
Folks, I've been spending a lot of the last 20-ish years packing and unpacking boxes. I think that's fair to say. I am so tired. So we were in London for 2 years, and he got a gig in Boston at MIT. So we packed up and moved to MIT, bought a little condo, and incidentally, we were right across the street from the Boston Marathon bombers.
Oh gosh, whoa.
Yeah.
And my birthplace. I was born at Beth Israel Deaconess, which is
Wicked.
right there by Fenway Park and by the finish line. Gosh. Were you there at that time?
No, we had just moved, and then this thing happened, and they were interviewing people who lived next door to these people, and they interviewed our neighbor Jeannie, who was across the hall from us, and we were going, oh my god, those guys were on our street.
I had completely forgotten that you were in Boston at that time.
Yeah, we were in Boston for 2 years, and then just after we left, bomb, shiver. So then I'd barely gotten finished unpacking, and then he says to me, because my husband's had a very strange career, okay? This isn't usually how scientific careers go. In case any of you are dissuaded from pursuing STEM, let me just let you know, this was just his personal problem. He says, we have to move to Greece, okay? For very complicated things having to do with contracts with the Defense Department, not MIT, trouble. I don't know, okay? I don't know. It's very...
So you fled Boston.
So we ran to Greece to salvage this contract with DARPA. So to back up, I had been to Greece one time, and I'm going to tell you right up front, we spent 6 years there in total.
Tania Sanchez, what are you trying hard to do with your year?
So I'm here in Sacramento to help my mom. She really can't live on her own anymore. So my sister and I are trying really hard to get her into a safe, comfortable place. You know, anybody who's been through this knows that it's a nightmarish time of a lot of terminology that your exhausted brain cannot understand, a to-do list a mile long, and weird stuff happening every day that you're not prepared for. We're trying really hard to make her feel comfortable and happy with whatever choices we make for her. It's uncomfortable. I'm trying hard to get on with my sister because we haven't for a while. Sibling issues.
Tania, you now reside in England, in Buckingham?
Buckingham, yeah.
And that is a shire?
It is a small university town situated on the River Great Ouse. It's a river called Ouse, okay? Which is so Harry Potter already, you don't even know what's happening, right? It's a lovely little place full of hawthorn that blooms in the spring.
I've seen your pictures.
I mean, it's
on social media.
Country, and I am so trying hard to get used to that because I am a New Yorker. Like, my soul is still somewhere.
By way of
in Beirut,
Greece
Brooklyn.
and Germany and Pleasanton before that.
Okay, so, but New York forever. And
You have New York energy still.
a
You
little
really
bit.
do.
It depends. It comes out more sometimes. When I get...
Lower East Side in particular,
Oh,
I would
gosh.
say. Yes.
Yeah, that's me. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, Buckingham. So I am there in this university town because Luca got a job at the University of Buckingham as a professor.
Luca, your husband.
Luca, perfume dude. And please subscribe to his Substack, lucaturin.substack.com.
Link in show notes. I say that a lot.
I also have a Substack, but I haven't been keeping it up.
Oh,
because
link in
life.
show notes to that too.
Yeah, where
saying it again.
I've been translating the poetry of Guillaume Apollinaire.
Come on, people. Guillaume.
So we get to England, and you think that you know what England is because you've been watching Masterpiece Theater your whole childhood, and you're like, yeah, I used to like get up, watch Monty Python late at night. I know all about this stuff. And you get there, and it is a weird Northern European country that has very little in common with anything you know. They just happen to speak a language that superficially resembles your own. And you've been reading their literature thinking that, yeah, this is my culture, this is mine. You get there, you're like, oh no, damn, this is different.
I learned that myself when I lived in London in the mid-90s.
When I got there, it was actually in the middle of COVID lockdown, so that was pretty surreal. And when people would greet you, this is the part of England they call the home counties. They're sort of the counties surrounding London. And there's a very particular accent, a very particular way of life. And people would greet you, they greet you and they say, are you all right? Now, does that sound like language to you?
It sounds like a lot of vowels, not a lot of consonants.
Where are the consonants? Are you keeping them for later? What's going on? So
Can I buy you a consonant?
Exactly, Vanessa. So, are you all right? And I didn't know what that was, and it turns out it's how are you all right? Okay? Are you all right? So people would say to me, are you all right? And then the correct answer to that is, all right, you? Now, the wrong answer is, well, today is not going so great. When somebody says, how are you? They don't want to know how you are. They're just saying, hi.
It's a social nicety.
Right. And the other thing is, like, they would also shorten it to, are you all right? Now, that makes it sound, to anyone who's not from there, that you look bad, right? You're saying, do I have something on my face? Do I look ill? Is
Lipstick on my
shirt inside out?
teeth.
Right?
Yes.
So this really put me off for a while. So, are you all right? And then I realized that it's just howdy. Now, the other thing that I found out was that they have a thing about American culture. They're like obsessed, And particularly, they're obsessed about Friends. Did you know this?
No.
They were really fond of Friends, like deeply. I didn't watch any of that show because I hated sitcoms, but they would laugh at me because I turn up and I see somebody that I know and I'd say, how you doing? And everybody would crumble when I said that, trying not to laugh, and I realized that it's because I sound like Joey, I think it is. How you doing?
Oh,
How you doing?
yes.
How you
Well,
doing?
that's the New Yorker in you coming out. They
Yes.
must love that you're a former New Yorker.
Well, the thing that I like the most about England is that it is the only country in the world, and I count this one, where as soon as somebody hears me speak, as soon as they meet me, they say, oh, you're an American. Because here, there's always somebody's like, you're Chinese or something like that. Wherever I go, it's like, oh, well, you're Filipino, you're this, that, the other thing. But when I go to England, I open my gob, and I am a Yank. And I feel like, yes, thank you for validating my nationality.
So, Tania, I'm very happy to have you on this podcast, but there's a big asterisk. Blah, I can't say that word. There's a big asterisk.
Asterix?
Yes, on your try hard card, because you're a succeed hard. You do put effort into things, but you have such an amazing brain that you succeed as well. How do you feel about that?
Are you saying I was coasting?
No. I'm saying that
You're saying I was coasting.
I'm saying
No, I
you're
was.
you're sort of a
Carrie.
Queen Midas with words.
Words.
I feel like you always were. You have been consistently. I have notes that we wrote each other in high school and in college before the internet, before everything went online. And you just always had this way with words that I aspire towards, but I don't think I'll ever get to. The intelligentsia of our whole high school loved you. You were the queen.
Was I?
Yes.
I didn't feel very queeny. I mean,
Really?
really,
Never-
yeah.
No?
Was I some sort of?
I don't think, not
Was
that
I
you were a
reigning?
royal
Was I-
pain,
I
but
was
just
then.
that you were elevated. because you were so smart.
God damn it, why is my dad dead? I want him to hear this. Dad.
You were very successful and you got scholarships and you were cultured beyond most of the people at Foothill at the time, which I remember feeling kind of like the Saved by the Bell high school. It had those vibes, Bayside High.
It was the wackiest high school. Thank you for enlightening me, Carrie. Thank you so much for your insane buttering up. I love that.
Yes.
I love that for me. I love that for you.
I love to grovel at your feet, Tanya. I really do.
You are.
I do.
You are. I don't know what to see.
Because I look up to you. I mean, I'm 2
Carrie.
years older than you,
Okay.
but I've just always looked up to you as a mentor.
A mentor?
And yes, well, I mean, as an example, maybe, because just with the way you've lived your life, the way that you write, the way that you handle your family situations, like with your mom right now,
What?
you're inspirational.
Okay. Listen. You have to stop because I'm Asian. So you hand me these compliments, and then I'm like, I don't know what to do with these. You'll have to take them back. You know?
Okay, I'm sorry.
I appreciate it, but at the same time, I'm like, you're overloading my.
Okay.
I have only.
Just say I'm rubber, you're glue.
I have a quarter cup measuring cup in which I can put compliments. When that's full, which was full, like I think 2 minutes into this conversation, then I have to throw everything else away.
Okay.
See?
I get it. You are tripping balls on perimenopause at this point too, and that's another factor in this conversation. That's the third character.
Oh God, y'all!
In this.
I am perimenopausal. I am jet lagged. I haven't slept. I have osteoarthritis.
And she looks gorgeous, by the way.
I'm using a lot of moisturizer. A lot. This moisturizer
It's working.
is doing a lot
It's
of
working
work
for
right
you.
now. Thank you. Beauty pie.
She's dewy. She's glowy.
I just can't. I can't. I'm so tired.
I'll take some pics.
So thanks for all the compliments.
You're very welcome, Tanya. You deserve all those compliments, as well as my long-running admiration and devotion. So, it turns out that even brilliant people are just trying to get through the week. Thanks for joining us again in Try Hard Valley. We'll be back soon with more stories from people doing their best and winging it anyway.
We gave it all, we took the swing.